In this day and age and in the world's global climate, sellers, especially online sellers, are looking for ways to manufacture their products outside of China. But what is an alternative market where you can find high quality products, high quality manufacturing at good prices, but is not China? Let's talk about it. It's very important to always have a plan B when it comes to business and most importantly when it comes to manufacturing. Yes, China is an incredible country to manufacture your products in. However, there might be an alternative place where you can find, like I said, really good quality products and really experienced manufacturers. Europe is the top destination right now for a lot of sellers that are looking to manufacture high quality products. And also remember that when you are selling in Europe, you're also able to market that as a unique selling point. Now, let's talk to Margot, who is the founder and CEO of Procfit. Procfit is a supply chain management company, and this is exactly what they have been doing for a while now and focused on Europe. They help sellers, businesses, brands, no matter who you are, even if you are in the product development stage, all the way to experienced retailers, find incredible manufacturers in Europe. Let's go. So Margot, as you know, we've seen a lot of sellers, especially when it comes to Amazon, which is the platform that we focus on, tend to want to leave China. What is happening? Why do people not want to work with suppliers and manufacturers in China anymore? Let me know.
Thanks, Crystal, for this interesting question. You are absolutely right. So from my long-term experience, I would say it's about three things. Yeah. First, it's really about the long delivery times. It's becoming worse and worse. Yeah. You wait not weeks anymore. In some cases, you wait for months until you receive your goods. And no businesswoman or no businessman can wait for months. So this is the first reason. The second reason is the cash flow. Think about the payment terms. If you do business with Asia, you have to do, in many cases, a down payment. And the second payment you have to do when the goods leave the country. So, meaning you paid everything, but you didn't see any goods. Yeah. So this is another reason where, okay, startups, entrepreneurs think more and more about the cash flow, because in Europe, it's different. Yeah. And the third is trust. Yeah. So in Asia or in China, they copy products and goods very quickly. And although you have contracts, although you have NDA documents with them, and I would say those are the three reasons why this is going to happen.
Yeah. So as you know, there are so many different levels of sellers, especially people that follow us and watch our channel. So that might be somebody that's just getting started. They want to get into it. And e-commerce is like such a cool business to have on the side with your corporate job and build it up so that it can become a really huge empire. But there's also some people that are at a level where they're already doing quite well. They're very well established brands and businesses online. Would it be the same for everyone? Would it be fair to say that it's like the same thing for everyone?
Yes, definitely, Crystal. It's the same thing for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're a startup, a young entrepreneur, or a YouTube company. It depends on how you approach the manufacturers in Europe. And that's the question, yeah? You cannot have the expectation that you write an email and they answer, or you phone them and you get an offer. This is not the case in Europe.
That's very good, because that's a segue to what I was going to ask you. So, as you know, we always discuss this, me and you. I think one of the main reasons that made China so popular is Alibaba, to be quite honest. It's a fantastic website. It's from a fantastic website, I mean, it's such an easy user experience. you immediately know how to use it. It just, these websites that are fantastic. You can find so many different manufacturers. It's so easy for you to communicate with them. I don't need to tell you, and most people who are watching the video are probably agreeing with me. It's one of the reasons that makes finding suppliers so easy. Now, even though Alibaba says, yeah, it's a platform for all suppliers all over the world, but let's be honest here, 90% of these suppliers are in China, and it makes things so much easier. What would be the alternative? If I don't want to find the manufacturer in China, I don't want to use Alibaba, what is the other way of finding manufacturers? And should I be focused on Europe? Should I be focused on Turkey, India, US? How does it work?
Europe makes absolutely sense. Okay, so I have my company since 7 years, and since the last 2 years, we create and optimize supply chains in Europe. So there is absolutely a trend going to Europe. But doesn't matter which company you are. If you're a startup and an entrepreneur which is on the market since years, you have to have the right expectations. In Europe, it takes longer to create a supply chain. But if you created it, it's sustainable. Yeah, meaning in Europe, as I told you, you don't write an email, you don't have a phone call, and you have a product. In Europe, you have to choose the right approach, how to contact the manufacturers. So you have to make a tender. You have to make a tender document, meaning it's a serious presentation of the company. It's a tender template where suppliers can put the pricings in and so on. Yeah. And this you send to them. And that's the way how you approach manufacturers in Europe. Yeah, meaning you have a serious image and you have the right approach. I could tell you a lot about that, Crystal, but I don't want to go in detail. But this is very important to know, yeah, the approach. And on the other hand, I have to say, maybe some guys in the audience know them. It's Wonnda. It's yeah, you know the guys. So
yes, of course.
I also work together with them. So it's I hope in the coming years it's the new Alibaba for Europe. Yeah. So it's coming. It's coming.
Is there so when you say like I have to create a tender and all of that, does that mean that when I do contact the manufacturer, I'm going to have like a huge MOQ? It's going to be really difficult, because one of the attractions of China for a lot of new people to selling products, and in particular online, here I'm talking like on marketplaces like Amazon, is that it's very simple. You can find a manufacturer that can give you a low MOQ and you can get it done quickly. Would you say it's fairly the same in Europe, or no, it's going to be much higher?
Of course, I would lie if I would tell you everyone wants small quantities. No. In Europe, of course, they love big quantities and so on. But we work with startups, young entrepreneurs. So we create supply chains in Europe. They start with 50 pieces, with 100 pieces. Yeah, it's nothing. So what I want to tell you is, it's like finding a manufacturer. It's like finding the right partner on your side. So if you find the right manufacturer who believes in your business idea, yeah, who thinks, okay, great product, and someday I will produce a lot for them, it's possible. It's definitely possible. But that you can catch the attraction of the supplier, again, you have to approach him in the right way. Not an email, not a phone call, a professional tender, and so on and so forth.
Perfect. Perfectly said. So from a sales and marketing perspective, do you find that people who are getting products manufactured in Europe, let's say Germany or any other country, do you find that they're able to utilize that as one of their unique selling points? Because unfortunately, and let's be honest here, most consumers have a concept that products manufactured in China equals not very good quality. So would that also be something that a seller would be able to, utilize in their marketing and their sales efforts online?
Definitely, definitely. So this is what I meant. Within the last 2 years, really, I don't have to convince my customers. I don't have to convince them, let's make a supply chain in Europe. They ask me, oh, if that's possible, of course, we prefer Europe, because then we can communicate, we have the aspect of sustainability and so on and so forth. And of course, they use it for the marketing and for the sales arguments. And of course, if you use this in your marketing channel, you can sell the product, of course, for a higher price, because made in Europe has some aspects of having good quality and so on and so forth.
Yeah, which is great. And to be very honest, you want, as a seller in such a competitive landscape, which is selling globally online, you want to use anything that you can in order to get advantage over your competitors. So Margot, obviously I can ask you a million questions, and I'm sure everyone watching the video also has a lot of follow-up questions. So I'm going to ask them to watch the video till the end so that I can tell them how they can contact you. However, give us a little bit more of an understanding how your company, you guys, your team can help anyone that's looking to find suppliers in Europe. What do you do? What is your process?
Our process is like this. We are connected with 70,000 manufacturers worldwide, where the biggest part of the manufacturers is based in Europe, because of the trend within the last 2 years. We have a huge network. We have many employees, many procurement experts in our team. And what we do is every project is very individual for us, So we really design for each product the supply chain. And what we do for every project where we should find suppliers, where we should establish supply chains, we contact approximately 100 potential suppliers. So really a lot.
Wow.
All those suppliers receive first NDA document, so that our customers are on the safe side. Suppliers, they have to sign, and just the one who sign receive then a tender. I told you tender is very important. So we create tender for our startups, for our FBA sellers, and so on. We send the tender out, and professional project manager from my team is negotiating, evaluating, and at the end of the day, we present the supplier, the best negotiated offer, delivery schedule, and then you can go ahead with the best selected supplier. In short words, in short words.
Thanks so much to Margot. If you want to reach out to Procfit, make sure that you check the link in our description box. You will also be able to book a free call with the Procfit team to talk a little bit more about what you are doing, what you need, and how they can help and support you. And by the way, make sure you leave Margot all of your questions down below. I'll see you in another video with more information. Bye.